So we're going to do something a little bit different today here on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and we're going to have a look towards the future. And one big issue that Test Drive has that I don't know if they've actually fully addressed yet, if they've fully considered it yet, and what the resolution may be. Now, we've obviously known since day one there's been a big issue in Test Drive with multiplayer mode. Well, the big issue is there is essentially no multiplayer mode in game, and this has started to become a bit more apparent as the weeks have rolled on. I'm going to quickly jump over here first of all to one of the live weekly events that we do have, No Barriers. Now, the race itself isn't specific to the problem, but it's going to highlight this problem. When we go into the races now, we of course have now got the option between solo mode and multiplayer mode. Selecting the multiplayer mode poses a very big issue. When we actually come into these races, we obviously come up with the screen, participants, and there's only one person there. And we can already know that it requires a minimum of 2, hence multiplayer mode. But simply put, when we go into these races and we physically look for somebody else to race alongside, you guys will have experienced this as much as I, but we will sit in this page for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, and nobody joins the lobbies. And this is a big issue with the game. They have employed a dynamic to this game that it's region locked, that it's platform locked, and that's something that Test Drive, that Nacon, that Kiloton have got to address. As you can see, we're still sitting in this lobby by ourselves. A thriving ecosystem. We shouldn't be sitting here any longer than 2, maybe not even 5 minutes, whatever it might be. We shouldn't be sitting in these lobbies waiting for somebody to join our game to get that bonus. We can see in the top left hand corner of the screen a 50% bonus just for playing multiplayer mode. Perhaps that was the idea here behind the multiplayer mode coming into effect. This would drive people to do multiplayer mode. Now that's fine, and I totally get that, and I love it. But the fact that we come into these lobbies, we will sit here for endless periods of times, and we don't get a second player in the lobby. But the issue isn't obviously just there with the new live weekly events. As fantastic as the live events have been, I do have to be honest, I enjoy playing them in solo mode. I like going in, just thrashing out the time, seeing how quick I can perform in the races initially, then go back in, tune the cars, continue to build them and progress up leaderboards. That in itself is a fantastic challenge that we've got in the game. But this has been a big issue in Test Drive since day one. It's an issue for me that has not been, they've not even been anywhere close to addressing the issue, and I feel there's been a substantial lack of input as to what the rectification for this is going to be. For us simpletons, the players of the game, it's very simple. Unlock the regions, unlock the platform, make it cross-platform, make it accessible. But like I mentioned, it's been here in the game since day one around the ranked racing. Every so often you'll be able to get into a ranked race and actually be able to compete within these. Now, interestingly, we can come into this in a solo mode now, which doesn't make the most amount of sense. It's ranked racing. We want to come in on ranked mode and earn that extra 50% bonus for completing the ranked race. But the same issue obviously comes back here, that we're going to sit in these lobbies for an extensive period of time. Let's just take a quick look here. It requires a minimum of 2 participants. That's of course very apparent. But how long is too long to sit in a lobby waiting to access a race, waiting to complete some of the missions? There's certain races in this game I haven't actually been able to complete because on the ranked rotation, when I go to complete them, I will then sit in this lobby and not get a match, so I won't be able to complete the race. You guys can kind of see where I'm going with this one. It is a big problem with the ecosystem. They either need to do, in my opinion, one of 2 simple things: unlock cross-platform or unlock cross-region. This for me will of course bring more players towards the game and, well, just bring a happier community all round. It does seem to me to be a very simple fix. Yes, I'm not a game developer. Yes, I don't build games. I'm a simpleton. I'm just here to play them. But when we go over to other games, just to name but a few, The Crew, Forza Horizon, they haven't got that issue. They can go in and you can do multiplayer racing. I don't want to always be racing up against the AI. I want to be racing against other people. Now, obviously, we've done some online racing before. We've done a couple of videos on this one, more towards shorts. all around the community that is in the Test Drive Unlimited Discord. Adding friends, you can then go into lobbies with friends. Now that's fantastic, but the time zone that I play in and the time zone that some of my friends around the world play in, which is another issue, you know, we can't always sync up. Then I want to try and use a VPN, but if I then use a VPN and take myself over to the United States, it resets my profile and I've got to start a game. So that's another issue. Cross-platform, cross-region for me is the fix. This is what we need to see happen in the game. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, we've got some very important updates coming out very soon. When we do jump over onto Test Drive Unlimited's webpage here, this is essentially, you know, where all the information is, essentially where a roadmap of sorts is going to be. And they actually highlight it right here. Where's the part here? Sorry. You can't lose out a set of competition's ultimate goal, but you won't always need to be the fastest. Casinos, nightclubs, rooftops, alone or with your trusted circle, you should always be at the right place at the right time. So we know right here, well, if you've obviously been watching the updates, we already know Casinos is Season 4, fantastic. But can we go into Casinos with no multiplayer mode? How is that dynamic going to work? I personally, I don't want to be sitting at a poker table playing against the AI. I don't want to be sitting at a roulette table playing against the AI. I want to have the joy, the experience of being around a virtual roulette table, sticking it all on black or all on red or going for number 7 or 6, whatever it might have been, having the hysteria, watching other people, you know, gambling as well. Virtual gambling, of course, that would be. I want that experience and I want that community vibe coming through with everybody in a virtual setting. Where this game is sitting right now, in my opinion, it's not ready for Casinos. Unless they've got a plan, and Season 4 we're going to see that update. We're going to see Casinos come into play alongside multiplayer mode. But of course, it doesn't just stop there. With Casinos coming into effect, I don't want to be playing against the AI. I want to be taking your money, and I want you to be taking my money. I don't want to be taking, well, yeah, I do want to take money from the game, let's be honest. But the joy, I think, is probably the best way to articulate it. The joy of having virtual gambling, well, we can take each other's money, we can have the bragging rights, we can boast that I just took 1 million credits or whatever it might have been from X or Y individual. I want that aspect in the game. I don't necessarily want to be just taking money off the AI. Now, it's always going to be good taking the money because we can then expand the garage, we can maybe buy some of those cars that I didn't want to stick, you know, stupid amount of money into. Let's just talk about the Mark II Ford GT, 50 million credits. I've only got 30 million in the bank. I'm not spending half of my purse there to buy one car. But obviously when the Casinos come round, for me it's going to be an easier avenue perhaps to sit and grind, you know, grind away to be able to buy those ludicrously expensive cars. That's all good. But then it comes into the aspect of the community, engagement, hype. How amazing is it going to be with the right multiplayer mode, with the right dynamics, poker nights in game. We can maybe even do some poker streams, get some of the viewers of the channel, get some of the community members from Test Drive down, maybe even get some of the devs in. Shout out to Alex7, how class would it be if we organise Friday night poker sessions or whatever it might be, get some of the community and get some of the streamers in, get some of the content creators essentially, and some of the devs, and have these poker nights, roulette nights, whatever it might be. For me, I think that opens up a whole different door of content for this game. But it all comes back to the issue of multiplayer mode. How does this become apparent? How does this become the next aspect, the next grind in Test Drive, if we don't have a working multiplayer mode? Now, of course, like I mentioned, guys, I'm not a dev, I'm not a game builder, I'm just a guy that's sitting in a room playing a game that I like. You know, I've got the history of Test Drive, and I kind of want to keep that history alive. We can go back and look at previous videos of Test Drive Unlimited 2, and you know, when the casino came into effect there, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. It reminisce about that, and I want to see that experience come back tenfold in Solar Crown. Now, of course, it's then going to be a bit ambiguous. You know, where's the casino going to be? It can't be on Hong Kong Island if they're going to be, you know, true to what Hong Kong Island is. To my knowledge, please do in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, I don't believe gambling is legal in Hong Kong. So that then tells us that we're looking towards Ibiza for the casino to turn up. Now, that's fine, I don't mind that at all. But it all still comes back to multiplayer mode, as we are getting a very strange takeover on the screen. Wow. Okay, this is off topic. I hope this is coming through in the camera. We've got a very strange yellow overlay coming through in the screen. Maybe the devs don't want us talking about what we're talking about. Gonna have to roll on with it until we get this video finished, guys. Yeah, this is very bizarre. I'm totally off topic now, I do apologise. The casino, yeah. It's most likely going to be on Ibiza, that's fine, we'll address that when it does come, but I'm going to kind of round out today's video because this is very off-putting, this yellow overlay that's now came through the screen. I don't have an explanation for this. We're going to have to see an improvement to multiplayer. Fingers crossed Kiloton, fingers crossed Nacon, fingers crossed all the devs working on the game have got a fix for multiplayer mode. For us, it's very apparent what the issue is. Multiplayer mode simply doesn't work, whether it's from the live weekly events, whether it's from just the standard racing, or whether it's through ranked racing. Multiplayer mode simply does not work in this game. Either unlock regions, unlock cross-platform, whatever it might be, whatever the fix is going to have to be, it needs to improve, let's be honest. That's kind of the moral of what we've got today. But to kind of put the caveat to it, we've got a lot to look forward to. Casinos especially, I'm particularly looking forward to the casinos. I want to do some casino streams, poker nights, whatever it might be, with you guys watching the videos, with maybe some of the other content creators, and of course with some of my friends. We'll see what happens in the coming season, but guys, I'll wrap up today's video. This yellow overlay, whatever it is, I don't know why it's happened, it's very off-putting. Before you leave today, as always, guys, please do smash up the like button and consider subscribing. Give some feedback to today's video. What else do you want to see implemented in Season 4? Stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.